guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. Today's one is very, very special. We often hear the word daddy issues being thrown around a lot, but it's almost always from women or about women, right? What if we look at it at a different lens, through the inner child of a boy who may not have had his father around, about the people who had to grieve someone who's never really there to begin with. So today's episode is not just about absence, it's about healing, it's about rewriting masculinity when you don't quite have a blueprint. So with me, I have a friend. He's a singer, songwriter, and super duper talented producer, you guys. If this is your first time hearing of him, I highly doubt so. He has written so many songs for so many other people. But today, we're going to talk about his very special piece that came from his heart. Gaston, welcome to Head Over Heels.
Hi, Max. Hi, guys. I'm Gaston Pong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you're here.
Finally, I'm here. I made it.
No, you already made it. What are you talking about? But like when you dropped me a DM.
Right.
It was also
guys,
during the
I auditioned my way to be on the podcast, unlike the other guests. Okay?
No. I feel like sometimes it's about timing. Like I think sometimes it's really about timing. We're always on the lookout for people, but sometimes the timing might not be right. I could call you, say, 2 months ago, but your song's not ready yet.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I feel like, oh my God, when you DM me and then you say the song, the timing is all perfect. Father's Day is this weekend. At the point of recording, it's just still in June, but by the time this episode is out, we are a few days away from Father's Day.
Wow.
So I think this is a celebration that could be a little bit complex for everyone. Some people look forward to it, some people don't. Personally, I have my own stories as well, but we will get into that. But first of all, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I made it to the audition. And
Please stop that.
I got it.
Oh my God.
And honestly, I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel well collected and healed, and that's why I came up with my new song.
Oh,
because like you just said, mentioned to the audience, I wear multiple hats. So like I'm a producer, I'm a singer, and everything. And I realize sometimes I just hide behind my other roles.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to shine. I'm not ready. I have my inner world to explore, to heal.
I'm very curious. I wanted to ask this because obviously you don't just sing. You sing so well, you write so well, you also do it for other people.
Yeah.
So that's why you sometimes want to hide behind the role. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. It feels more comfortable, without needing to deal with the spotlight.
Right.
Yeah.
How does it usually work? Is it because when you write a song, say it's done, I don't want it to be for me, I will give it to someone else, or you write for someone else from scratch?
I think the usual drill for the songwriting world is just two things.
Yeah.
Two types of songs that we make.
Yeah.
The first one is basically a demo pitch where you work with producers, writers, or even artists in the room just to write for a certain pitch, a certain angle.
Yeah.
Just like, ad agencies, what they do. They were pitching for one client.
Yes.
Based on the brief, the genre, the style. And the other type is commission work, where the artist just come to me and say, like, I want this certain type and I want you to do it. This is confirmed. Yeah. So the pitch is a pitch and the other is a confirmed work.
Do you ever feel like, oh my God, this song is so good, but I'm giving it to someone else? Does it ever feel like, it could be mine?
I've done that. And
how does it feel?
Honestly, my cool intro that ChatGPT wrote with me for the podcast or whatever, because I don't have a publicist. My publicist is ChatGPT. Okay.
Yeah.
He said like, I write songs for myself and sometimes for people who are cooler than me. And I believe that. Sometimes people are just better as a singer, a performer, better looking, better with dance and all that. And sometimes it's okay, just let go of the song because it has a better owner. I believe that. Yeah.
I think that awareness comes from a lot of inner work. You are really one of the most hardworking person that most people will agree as well that I know. We may not have much personal interaction, but I've definitely heard...
we realized we slept on the same side of face.
Yes. So we have the same side, guys. Mine's left side and yours left side as well.
Left side as well.
Yeah, Gaston's left side as well.
We just had a brief chat and we figured out that our left side's better because we sleep on the left side. And that's how our jaw is more defined.
So every time we go photo shoot, it's just this side. And then the photographer, can you switch the other way?
Can you give me more right face?
Yeah.
I always get that.
But then I always feel like, oh no, I don't like it. But sometimes the photo turns out okay.
Right.
But yeah, so I feel like you are really very hardworking. I feel like you've never stopped since COVID days. You and your sister, you both, oh my goodness, Jay, shout out. She's your older sister, right?
She's my older sister. Yeah.
I always thought you guys are either like twins or like I don't know.
Very close, just 1 year apart.
Yeah, there we go. So I at some point I just thought you guys were like, you know, non-identical twin. I don't know why I had that impression sometimes.
Right.
Like you guys don't look very far apart, but that explains 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on top of being hardworking, I feel like you are someone who has really done a lot of inner work.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So have you gone to therapy? And if yes, what made you go to therapy?
So last year, on my birthday, August, my sister just came through. So we went through that love-hate relationship with your own sister because we are co-workers and we run one
Pong Entertainment
together.
Yes.
And so you have that love-hate relationship with your own sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when every time when it comes to our birthdays, we want to get a meaningful gift for one another. And for most of the time, it was always something materialistic. It was like, oh, maybe a Dyson hairdryer because I knew that hers was, you know, Rosak and all that. Or something thoughtful, you know. Yeah. And but she's that kind of like, what do you want? Because she's that kind that like, I want this gift to be practical. She will check with me.
Hey, I'm like that too.
Yeah. You're like that too?
Because I don't want to buy something you won't use. There was one time.
Right.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt your story.
No, go ahead.
But I bought someone a comforter.
Okay.
Because I thought they will need it, but actually they don't like because they don't even like to be covered during their sleep. But you see, I never ask. So since then, I always ask what they want. Sorry, continue your story.
That's true. So she asked me, what do you want for birthday? And I was like, therapy.
Oh.
And she's like, why? And I was like, I feel like mentally I'm there trying to strive for my career, but I don't think I can do it. Physically, I'm tired and I want to go, but something is holding me back. And there's just a lot of weight on my shoulders and I can't explain.
Wow.
And the very physical symptom when I realized I need to go to therapy was when I lost one side of my hearing.
What do you
because
mean?
I worked overtime every day. Like I just don't sleep. I sleep like 1 or 2 hours because I feel like I'm not good enough. I need to finish all the demos in hand without a realistic timeline. And I was just like, I'm not good enough. Keep writing songs, keep pitching songs, don't sleep, never rest. And like I'm still working on that work anxiety now, but it's way better after going to therapy. And that was the decision because I lost one side of the hearing because of infection and the lack of rest.
Yeah. Is it back yet, the hearing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, back 100% lah.
Yeah.
So it was like a temporary.
It was a temporary infection and I lost hearing for around like a month.
Right.
Yeah, around a month. And yeah, that's why I went to therapy.
Oh my God, can I tell you something? I also gifted myself therapy for my birthday gift. Oh my God, I finally found my people.
When was that?
No, serious, 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
I did it 5 years ago. And my therapist, until today, she would tell me, Maggie, until today, you are still the only person who has told me that you gifted yourself therapy for your birthday. I feel like more people should do it. Oh my God, I finally found someone else that
and it
has
was the
done
best birthday gift I've ever received in my life. Yeah.
Best ever. It will change your life. But yeah, ever since then, it's been like quite many months now. Yeah. What kind of change did you realize? Right. Apart from, of course, managing your workaholism. Yeah, what other changes do you realize? Hello healers. Now, if you have been on the hunt for a vitamin C serum that actually works without stressing out your skin and with hydrating benefits, well, this might be your sign. So Drunk Elephant just dropped their all-new C Luma Hydra Bright Serum, and it is designed for anyone who wants that brighter, healthier looking glow without the usual sting or drama that comes with some vitamin C products, if you know what I mean. So it's perfect for all you vitamin C beginners out there. So it's a 10% vitamin C serum, but made with a gentler combo, 9% sodium ascorbyl phosphate and 1% ascorbyl glucoside. What did I just say? Don't worry, let me translate. It basically helps with dullness, fine lines, discoloration, and also help fight blemishes as well. All of that while being kind to your skin. Plus, it's packed with hydration boosters like sodium hyaluronate. So whether you are a skincare newbie or someone who's never found the one, C Luma is like the friendly vitamin C that plays well with others. You can even mix it with your favorite Drunk Elephant moisturizer or serum to make your own custom skincare skincare smoothie. That's right. I said skincare smoothie because at Drunk Elephant, mixing is the new layering. So get glowing with the gentle yet effective C Luma Hydro Bright Serum, available now at your nearest Sephora, or you can also find Drunk Elephant at the Exchange TRX and Isetan KLCC. Now, let's get back to the episode.
So I think as many other people who were like very first, like a baby to therapy, we go there with not much expectation, right?
A bit scary, right?
A bit scary, just walk in the room and then just all a little bit serious. The receptionist was like dressed well and like, hi, welcome, sir. And like, you're just like a bit awkward because you feel like you're gonna be checked on naked or whatever. It kind of feels medical. In some way, if you get it.
Because if you've never been before, you don't know what to expect.
It was serious, but the staff were nice. And I was like, okay, let's walk into the room. And then her specialty was actually PTSD release with hypnotherapy.
Right.
So it was hypnotic. So she basically put me into a dreamlike state to tap into my subconscious, where I can kind of lucid dream in my dream to interact with my past. People.
That's so crazy. I've not done that. I've done EMDR and brain spotting, but not this.
Right.
How does it? Okay, and then.
Wow, and then.
Wait, are your eyes open?
So how it started is we would start with the basic consultation and just talk about our current situation they're facing right now. And then she's like, "Do you want to give it a go with my way, where I'm gonna go into your childhood and past? Are you open with that?" I was like, okay, what do I do? She's like, okay. So she dimmed the lights. She put on some music. It was calming, meditation music. And she's like, follow my voice.
Oh my God.
And she was so good with it.
Yeah.
Her voice was hypnotic. Like I was just so drawn to her voice. So she basically, I was guided to this this vision where she asked me to follow the staircase, the tunnel, and just, feeling grateful and relieving whatever there's at the present, so that we can go into that state around 10 minutes in, and then we'll be in. And she's like, when you go through that light at the tunnel, we were at the first time where you felt like you're sad, you're alone, you're anxious. She started with anxious. Go through the tunnel and you'll see the first time when you're anxious.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm
went
there.
Through the tunnel,
you're bringing me there.
I'm standing at the roadside.
Wow.
Just below. I stayed in a beauty. My mom runs a beauty parlor, so I stayed upstairs of the beauty parlor. I don't even have a proper house, right?
Back then, right?
I was standing at the shop lot by the streets, waiting for a taxi to go to tuition alone. Hungry because there was no food at home. My mom gives me a weekly, money? Yeah, allowance, and I have to spend it myself. I was rushing back home and I didn't have much money, and I was rushing, I was late, so I decided to skip lunch. And I was waiting for my taxi and I can't wait. I just don't get a taxi. I tried calling, I tried waving to cars, I get nothing. And this when I was and I was so shocked because I never had this memory in my mind anywhere, but it was in the subconscious.
It was there.
Yeah. So every time she brings me through the tunnel, I'm seeing different things.
Wow.
Moments with the teacher who scolded me in front of the whole class, just laughed at me. Your sister's the top student. Why are you so fat and ugly and stupid?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She actually said that?
And everyone laughed ha ha ha, explain. And also teachers you are walking with that big tummy, aren't you? Isn't it hard to breathe? All these little moments that I thought that I've forgotten. And the bully cases, someone who took my pants when I was doing my job, doing my thing in the toilet. Someone still and took away my pants. All of these little moments just appear like a dream. Short one. 1 minute, 2 minutes. It just keep flashing. And I'm just there to just keep telling my therapy what I see. And she's there to dig out, just to dive in and ask what is it, how did you feel, and to find my root of my anxiety. And then she will help me process with the feeling, because apparently sometimes we don't process our feelings, and we don't know how to process our feelings because we were kids. And that was the therapy about. And she even role played once as my father and begged me for forgiveness.
Oh, Oof.
And that's the most intense one. Yeah.
Do you mind walking? I mean, since you brought up the story of your dad, I think for a lot of our audience, actually, we don't know what happened. What was it like growing up with your dad?
Okay. So growing up with my dad, he works at the oil palm plantation. It's a family business where he works in Sandakan at Sabah.
You guys are from Sabah?
No, he just that he is working there because the plantation's there.
Right.
And then I will be in Johor Bahru, and there's like 3,000 kilometers apart. So it's long distance, but with a family member.
Yeah.
So every year I would see him once, or even not even once, maybe once in every 2 years. It depends if he can make it back with the workload, with the flight and everything. So growing up basically having absence, the father
was
being
never really
absent
there.
was just never really there. I get moments where my teachers will just ask like, where's your dad? Sorry to ask, do you have a dad? And sometimes
how do they ask, like in Chinese?
Yeah, 不好意思，其实你没有提过，其实你有爸爸吗？我没有看过他。And then I'll be like, 我没有。Yeah, I don't have a dad.
You just like brush.
I kind of like just accept that I don't have a dad.
Even though he's around, but he's
although
just
he's around, yeah.
Oh, right.
Although now, I've been, yeah. We're gonna go to the song that I wrote,
Yeah.
right? But like, I recently wrote a song about my father,
Yeah.
and that kind of like embarked this journey of healing and closure for this thing, my dad.
Yeah.
And I talked to my sister about it,
and
I realized there were so many moments that my father showed love to me,
but you didn't realize.
I didn't remember. Yeah, I kind of like selectively remove a lot of memories with him.
Yeah.
Only with this journey, I found a lot of like moments with him.
Right.
Although we're long distance, he would talk to me on the phone for hours, and I don't remember much.
Yeah.
But the main thing I remember that he's an optimist. He's a dreamer.
Yeah.
He would always encourage us. Things that he would say like, life is beautiful. The words. He's actually English educated.
Oh, really?
Like, he's English ed.
So you guys speak English
But
together?
I don't, because I never grew up with him.
Oh.
So we spoke Mandarin at home, and
Right.
at the phone calls, I just froze. I just sat, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
But the simplest word that I remember
Yeah.
that was still in my head right now, life is beautiful and the world is big. Go and see it yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, and he even said like, go to the United States because it's big. There's a lot of opportunities for you.
Yeah.
So like, that's the only thing that I remember with my father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get to that later, but coming back to, your therapy session. So did you get any closure from all your hypnotherapy session?
That's for sure. My therapist, so one of the memories, one of the trauma that we saw during the therapy was my father grabbing my face to slam to the wall.
Wait, did it actually happen? Or is
happened.
it? Okay. So it's like a childhood memory.
Yeah. So there's this, one of the memories when I went through the therapy was that my dad was grabbing my face. He slammed me against the wall at the staircase. And I was so scared. He was kind of choking me a little bit and said like, do you dare to do this again? So what happened is I was fooling around with my sister. I was tickling her. And maybe it was my dad's way of saying like, that's too much. But maybe he didn't do it in the right way. Don't get me wrong, he's not a violent person.
Yeah.
But he does have a little bit of temper. Everyone has temper, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And only talking with my therapist, my sister told me this: you always like to fight back. That's why you get that. I was like, oh, you like 活该 like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and then like also like my therapist, how she healed me was she was basically role playing that day, and she said like, baby, I'm sorry. I never get the chance to say sorry to. I was like, and and she said like, this is my first time being a father.
Wow.
And sometimes we get driven away by our emotions. And I wanted to say it to you, but I never got the chance to. Just like I never got the chance to speak with my father. So back to, just to trace back a little bit with the dynamic with my father.
Yeah.
I spoke Mandarin, he spoke English, and when I was able to speak English because I majored in communication in college, where I started to be fluent, he lost his ability to speak. He flipped through. He was driving in the oil palm plantation with the 4-wheel, and the 4-wheel car just rolled off the hill, and he lost his ability to speak and go to the toilet. So like, when I get to speak to him, he's not responsive. So he had to be admitted to a nursing home.
Yeah.
When every time I talk to him, he would just, I'm not even sure if he understood what I said. Yeah. So that was the biggest regret and the feeling of loss growing up.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm sure. How old were you at the time?
He passed away when I was 21. And when this was happening was around 18, 19. Yeah.
So there was still a few years of having him around, but not being able to communicate.
Yes. So like that few years, it kind of felt like going back. I want to talk to him, and I just hope that he can understand one day. Or just guessing and hoping that he understands, I think.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I didn't know any of that about your life story. That is I feel like it is so much for an 18-year-old boy to go through.
But it didn't felt
at the time
strong. Like it wasn't intense because the bond. It's a bit sad to say, but because the bond wasn't there.
Right.
It felt like, your family member is sick. You gotta do what you're obliged to. Visit him, and we all think that he's gonna get better, and one day he just left.
I mean, do you mind walking us through the day he left you guys?
So when, it's quite interesting.
Eh?
So the day, so I got this is another intense story.
Sure. You can cry, It's okay.
I try not to. Okay, so so I got a job in Johor Bahru. So I've been based in KL for 10 years already. I got a job in Johor Bahru where my dad is at the nursing home.
Yeah.
The client booked the flight, so there was only 4 hours before ending the job and going to the airport.
Yeah.
And we were thinking to risking that chance to see him. Because we're like, should we, just rush it and just go see him before we fly off? That would be nice, right? And then I remember, I forgot what was it, but it was a common decision. We were like, let's not risk it. Let's just go to the airport. We'll come back. We'll come back for that, right? And I'm like, we'll come back for that. And we went back. We landed. We unpacked whatever it is. I remember it was still, I was with my teammates. We were in a whole office together. So I got a phone call. I saw it was Mom. Took it up. I heard something. I walked out. And my sister just looked at me.
She was with you, right?
I feel like she knew what was happening. And I was like, bah, 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 bah. And then I said one line out loud. What about the funeral? Then my sister just went crazy. My sister just broke down. My team members were there. And everyone just not knowing what to do. And then they was just holding my sister. And then she was just like, what's happening? And I'm on the phone. I'm also calm and listening to what it is. Then Mom said he passed away because he was out of breath for no reason. And the family's decision is not to do the, what is it called? What autopsy?
Autopsy.
Autopsy, not to do the autopsy because they want to
preserve the body.
Preserve the body.
Because you have to cut open and all that,
to know
right?
the reason of death.
Yeah.
So the family decision is not to do that. So we kind of just accepted that he lost the breath for no reason. Yeah.
Oh.
And then only one day, the head nurse told my mother it could be one of the side effects of the drugs one of the pills that was prescribed was kind of making the heart slower and weak. So probably the guess, we just had to guess it.
Yeah.
He passed away because the heart was not strong enough. Yeah.
So therefore out of breath.
Therefore out of breath. Yeah.
How does it make you feel? So weird, right? Because
so
you said, to you at the time, just a family member who's unwell.
Yeah.
But this family member is also your father.
Oh wait, I suddenly remembered. So the next day, we were supposed to perform for YouTube Awards.
Oh wow.
And then I remember they paid us to perform, and I told my manager, let's refund that. That is number one. My dad.
So you went back
so
you can go back to funeral.
Yeah. So we went back.
Wow.
And it was such a highlight moment. It was such. I felt like God was making fun or was just being so cruel. He's like, yeah, you get the highlight of your career. You know, my sister and I were used to be YouTube creators. We were a duo, and we're like, yeah, that's the highlight of your career, but you're also losing something. So I felt like, wow, such a awakening moment where I felt like we never realized what's the most important things in our life, and we never realized how much time we have with our closest ones.
No, that's so true. You know, you get people like just leaving us sometimes at any age. It's not an old age thing anymore, death. You know, it can really hit you at any time of the day. And honestly, for me, when anyone talks about death, it's very scary for me, because I don't know if you have this. Sometimes you go to bed, you don't think about anything, but suddenly your mind just goes to, what if I die one day? What's left of this world? Am I going to see my family again? No, wait, I don't get to see them. What is that like? Do you have thoughts like that? Or am I the crazy one?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, but actually going through that, like I said, I think losing a parent is one of the hardest thing anyone can experience. No one can ever prepare you for it, no matter how close or distant you are. Now, in your case, was it confusing to experience the loss?
It was so confusing because first we're not that close.
Yeah.
And losing him just felt like, like it
then now
confusing.
What? Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
And at the funeral, everyone's like, you gotta be a tough boy. You're the man in the family now.
Oh my God.
Take care of your sister and your mom. And in my head, like, he wasn't even present. Like, I was confused. I was having this bitterness in me. I was like, but you weren't even there. Like, what do you mean that you're gone? Like, you weren't even there. And I realized growing up, I have this hatred and bitterness inside for me to not feel the pain of having like a father that's absent in my life. Yeah. And only the recent years walking through therapy, I realized, I wish he was there. I wish he was there at a lot of times. You know, a lot of times, I feel like grief comes in different ways for everyone. Yeah. And for me, it's not tears, but it was the moments of silence and absence where when he wasn't around, you know, an old taxi driver would just keep talking and ranting in the car. I would listen to him. Yeah. Because he reminds me of my father. Like a father figure. He'll be 68. That's him. Yeah. So I think to get rid of that bitterness is to really realize that your father is a human. And when you start to adult and you go through that phase of adulting, dating, working, and you realize that no one's a perfect father because it's their first time. How to juggle growing, being there for your kids, and also a career. Yeah. And showing affection and love to the family. Yeah. And I realized that was not easy.
Yeah, like you said, he was also away from his own family. And I'm sure he misses you guys also. And then, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine being in his position. Again, I don't know your dad, but like, I just imagine myself like not being able to actually communicate the last few years of my life. How hard that could have been. So many things maybe he wanted to say that he couldn't say. Or oh,
no idea what was it like.
But thank you so much for sharing this story.
Thank you for listening.
And it's not easy, you know.
How have you ever lost someone close to you?
I lost my grandma. Okay, actually I lost both of my grandma. Might make me cry every time I talk about it. But my first grandma I lost when I was 12. And it's such a weird feeling. Actually, such a weird feeling to see someone like just lose their life in front of you. Yes. I've talked about this on my podcast before. Did you see your dad? But you're away, right?
I was away.
Like for my popo.
You physically saw it.
I saw her just after she let out her last breath. She was sick and she refused to be in the hospital. She kept telling my auntie, her daughter at the time, send me home, send me home, send me home. And the moment she reached home, she just stopped breathing. She just wanted to die in her own home and not in a foreign place like a hospital. And then my ama that passed away last 2.5 years ago, she also died from old age and like really difficult because I don't know, I just feel like death is such a hard idea to grasp because they still leave behind so much even after they're gone. Like until today, you can still talk about them. But like, how did you guys go through the grief with your family and your sister?
Like for me, right? Because you just talked about like how do you process that grief, and I feel like it never goes away. It's just part of you. It just becomes part of you. I feel like that pain and the grief, it just makes you who you are, and the regret, remorse in you makes you a better person.
Do you feel more guilt that you wish you did more? Because obviously you said he was absent most parts of your life. Like now that you're, a bit more grown up, do you wish that you did more?
I wish he knew that I loved him, and I wished he knew that I worked so hard for him to see it. But I felt like I've been lunatic about the situation over and over, because there's this different stage of grief, right? And there's one stage I just keep repeating, what could have done better? Could I have told him I loved him? Could I have done something differently? But I couldn't, because physically he couldn't. And at the time I couldn't express my thoughts in English. So it just felt like a lost moment that we had.
Also I think as kids, or even now, we're still kids to our parents.
Exactly.
Right? We're still
we're big babies.
Yeah, we're just big babies, still babies to them. And I feel like honestly we just want to be seen. We just want them to like see us, hear us, right? So what's that one thing that you want your dad to be proud of you today?
Wow. If you were in the room, what would I say to him, right?
Yeah. Like he's sitting right there.
I'll be like, haha, Dad, see? I'm talking English like you now.
Aww.
And like, I'm singing English songs, which, like, your favorite song is called Only You. And then I wrote this song called Only Blue.
Oh,
in memories of him.
Yeah.
Like, see, Dad, I'm singing your favorite song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm singing your favorite style of song.
Yeah.
English songs, slow songs.
Yeah.
Are you proud of me? And like, do you see what I'm doing? Like, do you like it? Dad, do you like my new song? Yeah. I feel like I want to tell him that. And also like, Dad, do you know that I have to go through doubting myself? And it was so hard to visualize how to be a man.
Oh.
Because there was no man in the house.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Like, how can I be like, okay, I've dated, right?
Yeah.
And my exes will say like, how do you, like, can you be a better man?
But you don't know how to.
And that moments hit me like, oh wait, how to be a better man? Like, how can I be a better man? In terms of certain things like growing without your dad.
Yeah.
You don't have the father figure to pick up what masculinity is.
Yeah.
Leadership.
Yeah. To
actions,
instill all these things in you.
Assertive, like all these things. Yeah. Just I learned it the hard way.
How did you learn it?
Dating. That's why they say
like
dating
knocking
is a
your head on the wall after and
They
after.
say dating is a mirror. You get to see the parts that you're lacking.
That is so true.
That's so true.
So, I think there are a lot of people in this life where they're fortunate enough to have their father in their lives. I, on the other hand, he's still alive, but unfortunately very absent. So he's still around. But you're right. Sometimes even just you're a guy and I'm a little girl growing up. For me, where I felt lack was really I didn't have a healthy role model to look up to. So you know what they say, right? Who your parents are, how your parents are will really affect the way you date. The kind of partner you choose. It's either you choose someone exactly like them or you choose someone that could fill up the voids that they left behind. I want to talk about dating later, but I feel like he left a big void in you, Gaston. When you say I don't know how to be a man, and for a guy to say that, sometimes I can imagine how confusing it is and how lost. Like then how? But there's no one to teach me.
Right. See, this is the interesting part about the void. I keep chasing to fill up the void, just like the lyrics I wrote. I keep chasing to fill out what's void inside.
Yes.
And it's interesting because I thought I have types. I want to date someone older, someone wiser, someone that has more life experience. And I don't know why. I just keep chasing and finding it. And I was like, wait, that's exactly like your father. And I haven't dated foreign people who don't speak the same language as me.
Yeah.
And then after we broke up, I was like, that's exactly like my father. I was like, dude, you're not dating to find love. You're dating to fill up the void. And that's unhealthy because you never healed that part of you.
Yeah.
And like that was my last relationship. I was like, dude, I need to fix this. I need to fix this.
Let me work on myself first.
Let me work on myself.
Yeah.
And being 28 to realize this, I feel like it's just nice. I always thought like I was so late to realize of this, but at least I know that I'm on the path of healing, right?
Look, there are people in their 50s, 40s that still don't realize and don't have the awareness that you have. So you're not too late at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all.
What about you? Do you have someone like what are certain types and like attributes that you look for in relationship to fill that void?
Oh man, I think for me, unfortunately, I grew up with I've never actually said it publicly before. Quite an abusive father. No, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It just never came up naturally. And like, if you ask me myself, if I do a solo episode, I will never bring it up.
Thank you for telling me.
But like now that we're talking about this, I grew up in a very abusive household.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, as a child, that's normal. Things being thrown around, words being thrown around, loud noises. So unfortunately, a lot of my past relationship had the same pattern. Yeah. Even at my first relationship, I was 17. I was punched in the face. And I thought that was okay because he loves me. Like to a point where I went to tuition, 17, I still go to tuition, bio tuition, and my friend would be like, Maggie, what happened to you? I said I fell down the stairs. But the truth is I was punched just night before. I think for the longest time as a young woman trying to make a name for myself, or like I was chasing the wrong direction, Gaston. That was my void, because I did not have, just like how when you said I don't know how to be a man, but for me it's like I don't know how to find a good guy, because I never had it to begin with. But of course, with age comes wisdom, hopefully, and with the right people in your life steering me back to the right direction, and I realized, no, I can't do this way anymore. I don't deserve this. This just doesn't feel right. Unfortunately, that was my daddy issue.
So sorry, and thank you for sharing. Well, I just want to tell you, I understand how you feel. Yeah. My best friend, I just helped my best friend move out of her house last year because of abusive, violent environment in the house.
Wow, yeah, it's not easy.
And that was exactly what you said happened in the house for her.
Yeah.
And she's 29. Yeah. She's older now. Yeah. And she had the ability to, like, I'm gonna leave on my own. It's
so hard to do that,
Yeah, it's so hard for a girl, and especially typically Chinese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Asian.
Yeah.
With strict families, like, oh, if you leave the house, never come back, never ever step back this house.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll be your family.
Oh man.
Yeah, I told her like, I'm gonna be there for you, and I'm gonna be a brother. Yeah,
that's so nice.
So like I help her to move out, and she stayed in my house for a few months just to go through the transition for looking for a house. Yeah. And there's everything, and I feel like it's not even the physical thing that hurts or that was hard. It was the whole mental state.
100%. Like even after leaving, that's just step one,
And every night you just doubt your decision.
Yeah. And the healing takes such a long time. And would we ever heal from that kind of hurt and pain? I don't know, man. I feel like until today, that 17-year-old relationship was over 10 years ago.
Maggie, you're such a warrior. You've been through so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing it.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like that made you who you are.
Yeah, perhaps, right? Like in hindsight now, I can think back. I'm like, maybe if I've had life easy all along, maybe I would have taken a completely different path. I wouldn't be this fighter, this stubborn person that I am today, to want to do things the right way and to fight things the way I do. But yeah, I feel like the same for you.
Do you feel like having an absent dad or like all this daddy issues? We talked about the the lack of a father figure, what it made us, right? Maybe thinking that the toxic traits from the father is good for us, or lacking of certain attributes. Like that's one thing. Having a solid value system, like having a solid idea of boundaries and standards.
Oh my God! Like, speaking of boundaries, I'm a people pleaser. Are you?
I am. And I feel like that being not there.
Yes.
This is what my therapist explained to me.
Yeah.
When we don't have a dad, a typical traditional family, the dad will be like, "Shut up, stop crying. You are good enough. You are good enough."
True.
Like
they're they're the one that draw the lines. Yeah.
Stop playing with the soil.
Yeah.
You are not like homeless.
Yeah.
So they instill this firmness and like this assertiveness in your life.
Yeah.
But having that absent, you go with mom, and mom's the feminine energy go with the flow.
Yeah.
Go with the softness. Yeah. And having that softness is great. But when you're an adult and you're working,
sometimes you need some boundaries.
You need some boundaries because people are gonna take you for advantage.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Like I'm a big believer in that, and I talk about it throughout my podcast, throughout all the seasons, that who we are as a child and how we learn things as a child is such a big part of who we are today. Yes. And it's up to us to unlearn things that we think, no, this no longer serves me, and or like maybe continue and keep what's good for us, right?
To heal this generational trauma.
For sure. Generational trauma is such a big thing that I feel like a lot of people are struggling with. Like, how do you break the cycle? How do you break the patterns? And when you finally have your own family next time, what kind of values you want to bring back, right? Yes. But yeah, going back to what you said, like the lack of a father figure in my life also affected the kind of mother figure I had. I don't know how to explain this. My mom is forced to be both mom and dad.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's tough. Sometimes I feel like our moms are the super moms.
Yeah, mommy, I love you, but seriously.
Like,
like for me, I think back all the nights my mom worked out of. I also had somewhat of an absent mom. I only see my mom like 2 times a year since I was single digit age. I don't know, 5 years old. But I never ever blame her for being away. I mean, maybe deep down I wish she's here more, but I know she's forced to do that because someone's being an asshole somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? So the lack of father figure, I agree, really changes the kind of mom our moms had to be. And shout out and props to all the single moms out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. To raise like 2 stubborn children like me and my sister, not easy.
Who fight back, who talks
you
back.
also, right?
And sometimes I just wonder, like, how did my dad just make 3K per month, and mom can send sister and I to art school, dance, singing, Cambridge English, and school and tuition.
Dude, that is crazy.
Like, how did she do that?
Yeah, my mom also sent me to piano, to ballet, tuition. It's not cheap, in the accumulation. Now that we're earning our own money, right?
Yes.
Little things, even like freaking Starbucks.
Oh, therapy is expensive.
Therapy expensive. Oh, don't even get me started.
But it's worth it.
It's worth it. Wow. Thanks for asking me that question. Because
can I just top up a little bit?
Of course.
What are some good things? I feel like, what are some, traumas leave us scars, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think there are some good things that have made you become? Like, what are some good attributes that you figure out, maybe you learn it the hard way, but it made you who you are as a person?
No, for sure. I think for me, it's my tenacity when it comes to just being a fighter. Not just, but sometimes it can be both my strength and weakness.
I get it.
Like, because I'm such a fighter, I always want to fix things. I want to make sure it's...
Fixer.
I'm a fixer. So can you imagine the kind of relationship I had before? Even though it's not right, I try to fix. I can do this. Because I don't want to lose it again. Because like, for me, it's like, I don't want... For the longest time, I thought it was my fault that my father left.
No,
I didn't know as a child. I didn't know, right? So I thought, oh, 爸爸没有在，因为是我的错。So for the longest time, I thought that was it. And so growing up, I always try to keep the men in my life. In relationship, friendship, I try to keep the people in my life, because when they do leave, I beat myself up and think that it's my fault, but sometimes it's not.
Fear abandonment caused from daddy issues, right?
100%. Oh my God. My fear of abandonment was so bad because it really affected a lot of my past relationships since I was young. Like little things like
keeping the wrong person with you.
Yeah, even small things. Let's not talk about breakup or anything. A fight in a relationship where we're fighting, me and you. The moment you say, I need a moment, I need to just calm down, that for me triggers my fear of abandonment already. Yeah. I spiral like, what do you mean you can't talk now? What do you mean? Oh no, God, cannot. We need to talk about it now. What do you mean? You need how long do you need? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour? No, we need to talk about it now. And I can't sleep and I spiral. I was dysfunctional. It was such an unhealthy pattern and way of coping. But of course, only when I started going therapy, I realized, so I was not worried that he won't come back. So I was not worried about that. I was worried about that he won't come back ever again because of my fear of abandonment. So it's such so many layers to dissect. What about you?
Yeah, but you told me you're a fighter, right? So maybe when you're in your career, or good parts of it, you just don't give up.
Yeah, no, not
because you're
growing
up tough.
Yeah, right? Like rejections now. I'm like,
rejections. Yeah.
You don't choose me for this job. Okay, I'm gonna move on to next. I'll see what I can do better in. And I think in some ways I've grown to have quite a bit of empathy for other people as well, because I feel like, wow, that was not easy for me. So I can imagine maybe this is not easy for this person. So I guess there's a lot of good and bad that came from this trauma of mine. I think ultimately it's the work that we do for ourselves that will help us decide the direction that we go, because let's be honest, there are a lot of people who also may go through the same trauma but end up being addicts or end up having debts and making bad decisions. So I just want to say, Gaston, I'm so proud of you.
You are too? Warrior?
Warriors.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you an Aries?
I'm fire sign, you're right.
Fire sign. Okay, I think I'm a fire sign also.
I'm a Leo.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, August, right? Your birthday.
August, yeah. For me, I picked up traits from my mom.
Like how?
Because I grew up different from you. My mom is the only mom, mother,
but she was very present
figure.
in your life.
She was present my entire life.
Yeah.
So I picked up good and bad traits from my mom.
Like?
Yeah. Good traits as in like I'm an empath. I am very kind. I'm good with my words.
Yeah.
Because she was such a soft-spoken person. And every time when we say thank you, sorry, like publicly with I'll just say, sorry, mom. Thanks, mom. And sometimes my mom says back, thanks, son. And people were so shocked. People are like, your mom say thank you to you? And they were like, this is how I brought up, like, how I was brought up. Nice. They were so nice. So, like, there were some good traits that I got from my mom. But there was bad things too. Like, I'm a complainer. I don't fix things. I just keep complaining. I don't fix things. And also, like, I'm also indecisive. Do I want this? Do I want? We just talked about like my team was just like, do you want an album? I was like, yeah, I want. Like, what is stopping you? The indecisiveness, because we're people pleasers.
For sure.
Why am I indecisive? Because I don't want to hurt or neglect people, so I did not want to make the decision. Yeah. I overthink.
Yeah. But sometimes if we try to please too much, we end up losing ourselves, right? So again, that's like really a line. Everyone's really learning how to draw. Yeah. So don't lose yourself is what I try to remind myself. Whenever I say yes or no to something, I'll think, okay, if I say yes to this, where does it lead me? Yeah. And if I say no, am I really losing out on a lot of value and opportunity in life? I try to draw a map out for myself when I say yes or no to something.
I hear a lot of sniffs.
Really?
It's an emotional episode. Everyone just...
Yeah. I love your relationship with your sister, but I also wonder, with your dad kind of, being absent growing up and then not being around anymore, was she kind of like your father figure?
She was the mom, she was the dad, and because it's my 11th year in KL, and we used to stay together for some time, and she used to be the mom, the dad, and she like, hey, I heard you're going to the club. When are you coming back? And do you want to join me for hangouts with my girls? And like, she's just trying to be inclusive of me, and also like watch me out. Like, are you dating someone now? And all that. Yeah. But yeah, it used to like annoy me. Like, why am I losing a sister? Like,
right, like you're becoming mom now. You're becoming
mom. Like, why are you like the spy? Like, I moved to town to have my own career in life, and then you're still being Mom. Yeah, it feels like that Lilo and Stitch moment.
Yeah. I feel like, hearing this from you, I feel like I was the opposite of what your sister was for you. I have a sister also. We're both in the city, but I think I might have neglected her in some way. She told me before, after few years later, that I was too busy living my own life, figuring out, trying to fight my own demons, that I forgot my sister was going through the same thing. So like a little bit different, but I learned that, it's never too late, that you can always learn and like do better. It's never too late to do better.
Has your relationship with your sister gotten better?
Oh yes, actually now so much better. Last time I don't even know who she's dating, if she's seeing anyone. People will ask me,
elder?
Younger. I'm the older sister. So that's why like I had to be the parental figure for her, because my parents were not around as well. Kind of, honestly, our story is kind of similar, but not really. Different context, right? And if anything, after hearing your story, I feel like a bit less lonely. I was like, it wasn't that bad. I'm glad we made it through.
I feel like that's the whole purpose with the podcast. Yeah. To make the voice being heard and being listened, and people don't feel alone. Yeah, like for me, it's really like to be the voice I never had. And you also put out your voice about your story. And that's one part. Okay, this is a bit awkward, but like I want to confess.
Yes.
Like I've seen you reinvent yourself so many times too. When you're in a relationship, you go through heartbreak. You being vulnerable about your body, body confidence, and you right now glow again with your podcast, traveling and being a creator and a host. Like there's just different stages that I don't think I know you very long, but like being a fan of you, on social media.
Yeah, I think we are each other's fans. We follow each other, we see each other's progress, but never really got to hang out like this in real life. Yeah, and then like, cause I auditioned my way in, right? So I just scroll up, like, what was the first conversation? It was 2020. Like, some years already. My
it was
first
5 years
ever
already.
episode was on the 6th of Feb 2020.
Yeah.
That's been 5 years.
And also I realized I've been watching your growth as well for 5 years, and I feel like there's one part that I didn't want to tap in, and this year I'm trying to, and I want to be like you. Is to be more vulnerable and authentic to myself.
I love that for you.
It's not easy. Being vulnerable means you have to be so comfortable within, because 100%. You are not comfortable within, you're not comfortable outside. Like you cannot show, and you're just gonna have a lot of healing done.
100%. And I think secure. Healing, I feel like it's never going to have a final destination.
Right.
I'm not going to heal and done, move on to the next. I feel like it's an ongoing journey, correct? Yeah. Especially for someone like you. Quick question.
Are you a goal-driven person?
Goal.
Because sometimes people like us who are fighters, we're so goal-driven, we forget that healing is not a goal. You cannot like heal and go.
I'm going... you know what? Man, we are like confessing to each other right now. I recently feel like, how to say
we need to drink together.
Yeah. How do I explain this? I recently went through I'm going through it right now. I feel like I'm not doing enough again. I remember this hunger I had before I got any of the things that I got to do today, say hosting for some of the biggest brand, like being a radio host. Way before that, I remember this hunger that I had. Oh my God, I really want to achieve that. And then sometimes when you finally achieve, because like you are chasing goal, one milestone after another, chase. I feel like right now I'm at the point where, thank God, I've really ticked most of my boxes. Suddenly I feel lost again. Do you get what I'm saying?
But do you think you don't chase as much because you already got the validation that you wanted?
Maybe.
Or because you gave yourself that validation. You have healed and become a better person and secure.
Perhaps I think internally, yes, maybe,
parts of it,
like healing from therapy, from the works, from the conversations I've had. In fact, from all the conversation I have on this podcast has completely changed me in so many ways. I learn every single time. I know this season only says 20 something episodes, but I had like almost over 50 episodes in the last few seasons. So that's like almost 100 of hours talking to people and learning from them. And I feel like the first episode's Maggy and now so different, just like how your first Gaston song and now
even your voice was different.
Yeah. And speaking of song, Only Blue. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, if you've been here for a while, you would know that we've been growing the podcast on our own for a while now. And one way you can really support us is by subscribing to our channel, following us on social media, and interacting with us. Leave a like, comment, react, anything if any of the episodes resonates with you. Even better yet, if you love it, share it so that we can reach more people like you. I know they're just small gestures, but they mean the world to us, and I know they will leave a big impact.
Yes, Only Blue.
It's coming out very soon.
Tomorrow.
By the time this episode is out.
Yes.
We are scheduling this episode on the 12th of June. So if today is not the 12th of June, you guys do your own math.
It's already out lah.
But, okay. I need you to dive into the song for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have some questions.
Okay.
I know you write songs a lot.
Yep.
But this one is really a soul-bearing reflection on a distant father. You guys know the story. We just talked about the story the past hour. An unspoken love, a grief that just doesn't fade and comes in waves, right? So, is this your first time dedicating a song to your father?
To a family member, yeah.
Really?
Yes. It's the same thing. If you can talk about things on podcasts, means you start to figure out, or you're on the path doing that. And for me, it's the same thing with my songs too.
Yeah.
I cannot sing about it because if you are not healed from it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like writing this song and also going to therapy to heal and more reflection in myself gave me that closure with the song. It's my first time for my dad.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he's the one that felt most distant in my life. Yeah.
And honestly, guys, I had the honor to hear it together with the team before its release. It's so heart-wrenching. I feel like you really you're so talented, Gaston. I don't know how you do it. Not just writing the lyrics, but the sound, the way it sounds and hits the heart and goes into my brain and makes me feel all kinds of things, right? And then this lyric really got to me. It says, can I read it out for you? It says, now I'm going places. Tell me, is that what you want? Maybe everything is just in my head. I keep reaching for the noise, hoping it'll fill up this void inside.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. That's the accents of the song. Yeah. Is that, having the father absent in your life, you're trying to just fill up the void, trying to work harder, date harder, do everything harder, and fill up your time. Because being alone means you have to reflect on it.
For sure.
And also, and the song is for him, and to give that closure for myself and to realize that, yes, I'm not shy to admit that I was dating because I was filling up my voids. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And if he could hear this song when it's out, obviously, if you could hear this song wherever he is, how do you think he'll feel?
I never visualized this.
Yeah, you want to try?
Wow. If he ever heard this, I never see him cried. Ooh. What if he cried? Wow.
Well, yeah.
I'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Because he have heard what I want to say.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this sentiment about writing this song and putting it out, is that it felt like sending to a message of someone who passed away. It felt like it's texting someone who's just not there to see it. Yeah. But I feel like that's the beauty of art, just living in this piece of craft and like your art, and for people to feel the emotions and the growth from it. Yeah. I just hope that the songs make people feel less alone, just like this podcast,
Yeah. Oh man, this song will give you all kinds of feels, guys. So go tune into it. Only Blue will be out on all platforms. Where can they find the song? Spotify for sure. Yeah.
Gaston Pong, thank you.
Yeah, Gaston Pong, you guys. But before we wrap up the episode, I just want to quickly talk about this, right? Like you said, you've dated all kinds of people. You've tried to fill that void with the people that you date. So now that I feel like you've put in the work, and it's putting in the work. It's a continuation. I don't think we can put a timeline to it. How do I even ask this? What kind of relationship do you hope to have one day?
Okay, this is, wow. I feel like when you have done all the healing and being more secure itself, dating and relationship becomes so simple.
Yeah.
Because there's no you got rid of this trauma bond and this infatuation that you have because of your trauma. Like there's just no more infatuation. It's actually harder in some way because it's harder to fall in love again. Because you don't like, oh, this one is for me. You don't
you don't have that instant.
Yeah, you don't have that crazy trauma, cynical reaction to it anymore because you're so secure being alone, and you give that enough love and validation to yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like now love is simpler in a way that you find someone who is there to partner with you and see you grow together.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be there in your love, in your life, you know. Find someone that in my life that's gonna watch me grow together and being there for one another.
Yeah.
Emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you seeing anyone right now?
No.
What kind of partner are you? If someone were to date you, Gaston.
I'm a fighter.
Yeah. Even in a relationship?
Like you, I fix things. I fix
I'm a fixer.
all kind of things that I don't want to say on the podcast. I'll tell you later. Or if you ever drink. But I fix worse things that involves physical kids. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. But like, I'm a fighter in love. It can be a bad way when I don't know the boundaries. So I learned in a hard way, and I learned that I'm gonna fight for someone that's worth fighting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I hope you find that someone.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll put it out there into the universe. Hopefully my manifestation game is still strong. But Gaston, we are coming down to the end of the episode. I had such a great chat with you.
Me too.
But we always wrap up the episode with 3 questions. Okay? First question, what are you currently head over heels for?
Espresso martini.
Which you had before coming on
yes.
here. I love it.
It's a perfect mix of do you want to go to sleep or you want to wake up? It makes you relax, but you're like, awake. You don't sleep.
Yeah, love it. I shall give it a try. I've never actually tried espresso martini. Okay, next question. Best or worst advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've gotten is this. If there's the end of the world, we are left with 2 hours. What are you going to do with that 2 hours if it's not for anyone, for you? Question 2, the follow-up. If you cannot finish that thing that you've just said in 2 hours, that means you have not put in enough time for it. You get what I mean? So like, it's the reflection of like, have you put enough time of something that really matters to you? Yeah. It can be a passion, it can be a career, it can be even for the society, for the community. So like, that is one of the best advice I've ever heard.
So it makes you
have you made time for it?
Yeah. Like, it could be your craft, it could be spending time with somebody, right?
Yes.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Don't wait till the end of the world.
And I spend so much time polishing my craft and learning and writing songs and traveling to see other songwriters in the world because songwriting matters to me.
Yeah. So when that 2 hour comes up, you will have more than enough time because you've really done the work before the world ends.
Yes.
Right? Essentially. Oh.
So that you don't live with regrets and find what's your calling in your life.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a good one. All right, one last one. If you could be remembered for one thing beyond money, beyond success, beyond what people see online, what would it be?
Sorry. If
you can be remembered for one thing, beyond money, beyond our fame, what would it be? Some people want to be remembered for their smiles.
I want to be remembered. I'm a storyteller. Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure if I'm gonna songwrite. I'm gonna write songs for my whole life, but I want to tell stories and I want to help people to tell stories.
You are so gifted. You have no idea.
Thank you.
Like, to write song and produce songs on the scale that you do, like, oh my gosh, we look through your profile. How many songs have you written?
80 to 100.
Yeah. And that's the one that's being put out. Yeah. I can only imagine how many more hundreds are in your drafts.
Don't go.
We want to like be a little flyer in your room and see how many songs and how you work. But Gaston, it's been a pleasure and an honor to have you here, like to have you bear it all with us.
You too. Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Thanks
for making me go through this audition and no. I made it, guys. I made it to Heads Over Heels. HOH. Long list.
Write us a song, please. I'm just kidding. But
the intro, right?
Yeah.
Needs the new version. But when was the last version recorded?
It's not even a year old. So when we reach our first anniversary for this new season, maybe we'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need. Okay, we do need some. Oh my God, we found somebody.
Yay.
All right, you guys. Is there anything you want to share with you? What do you call your fans? Do you guys have a manja name?
They do, but it's alright. It's
okay. Okay. To your, your fans or people who support you listening right now, what do you have to say to them? Or like people who may be struggling right now.
Yeah.
What do you want to say before we wrap up?
Deep. What do I want to?
We never go shallow here at Head Over Heels.
Wow. What do I want to tell the world?
Yeah. This is your last 2 hours. Oh.
I think believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. Believe in yourself.
And something so simple.
Even the world tells you you're not worthwhile, but believe in yourself until you're there. And the old self would thank you for that.
Amen.
For just staying there,
Amen. Yeah. All right. And with that, like I always say, don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always. And we see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels.